Hey guys, Mrs. Gatch here. Today I'm going to show you how you can use Apple Pages to go ahead and make a super fun flat icon of yourself. So to start out, a few things that I like to do is we're going to be using shapes for this one. I'm not really going to be using the pen tool very much. I'll do another tutorial for that. But to start off, when you're making your face, you want to work with obviously the big, like the part of your face, and then we'll add in eyes, hair, etc. When you start with your shape, you have two different ones. You could either start with kind of a rounded rectangle, and one thing that's really cool is like up here where you have that little green dot, you can curve it to how you like. So you can move so it's a little bit of softer edges, make it thinner, make it wider. So I kind of have a bit more of a thin face, but I'm going to go ahead and stick with this. Now I see that my color here is this blue. When you're working with your shapes and a flat icon, you usually don't have a border on anything. You can open up your color fill. It might be no fill, just make sure it's here. And to change your colors, you can either choose from here this palette, or you can import a palette in. So I'm gonna import a palette in by clicking on this little like prism ball thing, and gonna go up to the image palettes. And to bring one in, it's actually super easy. I have it in my downloads folder. I'm pretty sure it is either, so I have these two here, so this one and this one, and I think I'm gonna go ahead and just use this one here, and then you drag it in. It's very easy. Just go ta-da. And then now what's really cool is that you could just click on any part of this and it'll color your shape any way that you want. If you wanted to save a certain one so it's easily accessible, you could just, like, let's say I really like this violet color. I can take that little mark here and then just drag it and it'll save. But for the most part, you can see if anytime you drag in a color palette, it'll save. So I'm gonna try to pick something closest to my skin color as I can. So I have a picture here saved of myself. I think that the best one for me to choose, this happens sometimes too, make sure it's probably, I'm just gonna go with, let's just have some fun and use this one. All right, simple enough. Okay, so I have my head drawn on here, and now I'm gonna go ahead and do my hair because I have curly hair. And with curly hair, you can decide how you guys, with any hair, how you want to do it. I really like the idea of having circles be my hairstyle. And so you can decide if you want it to go big or small, and then you can layer it. So I'm gonna make my hair color here a nice brown. So now I can just go ahead and just pick another color palette. And then if I wanted to make it darker, because I actually have pretty dark hair. There we go. Okay, so my part is over here, so I'm gonna make a small circle. And then you guys just start to copy and paste and put where you would want to put it. All right, so I put my hair here, but one thing, so I drew a bunch of shapes, I pasted them over, but now what I think is a pretty good thing to do is, there is an object where, if you see here in the picture, my hair is a little bit more behind my ear on this right or my left side of my face, and I think it's always a good idea to try to mess around with arranging your, you can move shapes forward and backwards in order to create a kind of style that you would want. So here you would just select a shape and you'd go to arrange. I can also pick several shapes if I wanted to. And then if I just hit backwards, I want to see what if I got them, like my face to come forward, but just on this one area there. So I can do the same thing maybe with this one. And it just gives you a little bit more of a choice. Now, I think because I have my ear here, I have this hair back here, I think it actually might be nice to put in a little bit of an ear. So now I'm going to maybe get another rounded rectangle. Going to make it a lot smaller. All right. And then I'm going to put this over here. Oh, I like that. I'll do it because then I'll put an earring on as well. And then if you want an easy way to color something, if you want a particular color, remember I did have my color palette picked and it was this one right here, But a cool thing that you can do as well is this little eyedropper tool here, if you select it and just pick something that is the color that you want, that's another way that you can get it as well. So I'll do my little ear here, and maybe I might make a copy of this and then give it like a light pink color. So it's like gives the effect that I have an inner ear. All right, so I'll zoom in, just make this smaller. And then I'm gonna add a little earring because I always like earrings, so when I like studs. So here's a circle, just make it white. And obviously you don't wanna like overwhelm it, change that color. All right, things are looking good. So, got my earrings set. I'm sorry, I wanted to be like a nice circle, but it's not working out there. Okay, so now I have my hair. That actually is the most difficult part, or kind of the most time-consuming one. Remember, this is just a very simple flat icon. I don't want you guys to stress out about what you're gonna be doing. So I'll just go ahead and do my eyes. So for my eyes, I'm gonna make them black because I have dark brown eyes. If you hold down the Shift key in Apple, I mean, not anything, it helps you constrain the proportions. So I'm gonna do my little eyes here, and then I'll just Command C, Command V, and put them there. Perfect. And then now I can technically, if I want to select both of these and adjust the sizes, I can go and I can right click and I can group them. And then now anytime I make them, they'll be together. But you can also ungroup, because if you wanted to change the eye color, you have to ungroup. It won't work like that. All right, and then I'm gonna go ahead and do my mouth. So for my mouth, I think the style that I want is I'm gonna make it like I smile a lot, and I usually like to loud mouthed. So I'm going to show you how to make like a fun little open mouth here. I'm gonna start out, I'm gonna make my mouth into this oval. So this is, shrink this down and show you what you can do that's really cool. All right. So you'll see how this is gonna work out. I'm gonna start out like this, and then I'm going to make this color. I'm actually gonna add in another color palette that I really like. Let me open this up here. I think it's this one. Perfect, yeah, okay. So just drop that in. And I'm gonna make this back of my mouth, I think I'm gonna make it like a darker color. And then I am going to add in, now I wanna kind of cut off the top part. So there's ways that you can do it. There's no shape where it's like a half circle, but what you can do is add in a square, and then I can cut off maybe here. So yeah, I think, so you're kind of seeing like this is where my mouth is gonna show like it's open. And if I select this and then I hold down Shift or Command and select the other shape, if you go to arrange, you're gonna see you have this whole little toolbar that comes up here. So I could unite it and make it into one shape. I could intersect it, which like brings the opposite, but what I wanna do is subtract. So whatever thing is on top, it's gonna take away, all right? If you wanna see what exclude does, it does it right there. All right, but subtract is what I want. I'm like, okay, now I know that I have half of my mouth, awesome. And if I kind of want to see what it's going to look like, oh wow, this is really special. I like it. All right, and I'm going to go ahead and put in now, let me see if I can try to get a tongue here. So, all right, so when I am trying to create my tongue, I added just a white bar to give me a sense of teeth, which looks pretty silly. The tongue is a little bit of a difficult part because I almost want to create kind of just a half circle for the other part of my mouth. And I had to go back and forth a bit. I created my just another circle, added in my over the mouth where I'd want the tongue to show up, but I was going back and forth between the different pathfinder kind of adjustment tools. And what I found is that I made a copy of the mouth, like those two shapes, because I realized that I needed to use the exclude, not the exclude tool, I think it was the intersect tool. And so I make a copy and of those two, and I did intersect, and then I changed that little oval to red, the red that I wanted the tongue to be. and I just dropped it in there. And then I went ahead and grouped all of the three shapes in order to create the mouth. So it was just a little bit of trying to experiment with what I have, which wasn't hard. It took a bit of time, but I'm glad how it worked out. After I finished my mouth, I went ahead and just selected all of my shapes that I had put together for my flat icon, and I grouped them so I could make my shape as big as possible to give it a high quality. And that went ahead and was it. I hope you guys found a little bit of ideas or just help with how you can make a really simple flat icon. There is another video that I have where I show you how to make a flat icon version of yourself using the pen tool. So if you want to check out a little bit more of a challenge, you can see it there. But yeah, just get inspiration, go online, go to Pinterest, you can just Google some images of flat icon characters, and that'll really just help you guide you down your way of what you need to do. So can't wait to see what you create, guys. Bye.